I can't be the only one that likes watching a car crash. Let's check out what shenanigans are going on in the VTuber space. Today, we
Hey,
got
what's up, guys?
Rev
Rev
with
here.
the
So, over the past
news.
few weeks and even months, there has been an intense battle of these streaming platforms taking place
Okay.
as Twitch is sat in the corner huffing glue and dishing out consistently greedy and out of touch policies. Traditional competitors like
True.
YouTube and up and coming competitors like Kick have been doing their best to take advantage of Twitch's shortcomings and bring streamers over to their platforms. This effort has intensified recently due to multiple wet farts Twitch has laid,
Twitch has been
including their
shitting
sad
on
attempt to
everything.
eliminate virtually all sponsorship opportunities for their streamers, banning simulcasting, threatening to charge creators a fee if they switch platforms,
$25.
and even allowing their mods to harass streamers who criticize their latest policy changes.
Are you serious?
And as I was preparing this video, Twitch made another desperate attempt at damage control, giving the impression that they're going to upgrade their streamers to a 70-30 revenue cut. But as I will state later on in this video, that is a huge misrepresentation that will only affect less than a percent of their total Twitch streamers. But while YouTube has gained momentum from Twitch's L compilation,
Let's talk about
Kick
Kick.
has been the main focus of attention for a lot of content creators. Over the past few weeks, Kick has been winning by sitting there and reminding content creators of their 95.5 revenue share, while Twitch, with their 50-50 revenue share, goes on a self-jihad, destroying their own platform and policies so bad it's to the point that it's forcing neutral parties like Mr. Beast to rally against them in support of alternatives like Kick.
That's awesome.
Including myself, by the way. I now have a Kick account. It's mainly a placeholder if you want to follow it. The chances of me streaming on there are pretty slim, and I'm no shill for Kick, by the way, but it's important to look at what it can offer content creators instead of simply just writing it off for reasons of virtue signaling like many others are attempting to do.
It's competition. I personally enjoy it. I've been on Kick a couple times. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. But I think Kick is good just because it's competition.
So besides the vastly superior revenue split, Kick also hosts far more creative freedom than Twitch. There's definitely a Wild West feel over there at the
100%.
moment, much like many other streaming platforms when they start off.
100%.
Many, like myself, see that as an exciting situation. However, a large portion of the VTubing community, used to their virtual hug boxes and safe spaces, are threatened by this and are actively advocating against migration to Kick and even judging streamers who consider it. Sentiments that are reflected by this thread posted by a VTuber journalist working for Dixerto. So before I criticize some of these points, let's quickly read through this thread. It states, if you're a VTuber who preaches inclusivity, Kick/Rumble are not Twitch alternatives for you. Those platforms are shady at best financially and actively hostile to diverse creators.
I don't know about the actively hostile. I feel like you have to be on the platform to actually be able to, judge that for yourself. Sounds like just like a random thing. It seems like everybody is just in their own bag overall.
Don't get allured by the bag. It's not guaranteed, much like Mixer, Facebook, and Trovo before. I thought I could avoid much of this discussion, but I keep seeing VTubers swap onto Kick, see the culture, and then recoil. If you really want to leave Twitch, YouTube is right there. There's pros and cons to both, but at least it's not soul selling. I remember when Kick launched, I was one of the first to report on it. I was quite interested in the 95-5 split and wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Its moderation problems and crypto backing was revealed quickly. It's only spiraled since then. Don't move there. So as you can see, a big theme of this thread is inclusivity, where this VTuber journalist is saying it is impossible if you support inclusivity in your community to exist on platforms like Kick or Rumble, which I think is incredibly hypocritical. There is hateful people and bigots, bullies, and alike on every single streaming platform that exists. not just streaming platforms, but
in
social
life.
media in general.
And in life, real life, you could walk down the street, say, "Hey, good morning." That guy say, "Hey, fuck you." So I mean,
to find hateful people on Twitch, YouTube, and even Twitter. I find it very ironic that this thread exists on Twitter, telling people about inclusive environments, and that some places like Kick are just complete no's. Like, you can't be there if you support inclusivity. Meanwhile, the big bad people from Kick, like many people are pointing out in replies, like Aiden Ross, for example, they have Twitter accounts. They are actively tweeting. So are you not allowed to be on Twitter if you promote inclusivity because they exist there as well? Yep. Of course not. So I don't understand what's so unique about Kick, where if some hateful people exist there, nobody who supports inclusivity can also exist on that platform without causing issues.
Because at the end of the day, Kick is still like a live streaming platform. Your channel is your rule. So if you go in there and you say, "Hey, we like everybody, this and that, don't be an asshole," and if somebody comes in there and they're an asshole, you just ban them. So I really don't see this issue here. Like, if you want a safe space on Kick, you can make one. It's called your channel. Not every other channel is going to be a safe space. So you know what you do? You don't mess with those people. You don't raid. You don't do nothing that. You just grow on there, and then people will find you on Kick. Or if you're moving from Twitch, tell them, "Hey, I'm moving to Kick." I don't see the big deal with this one. If you want a safe space, you can make one.
But here's the thing. There's been a lot of talk about safe spaces in the VTuber community. A lot of VTubers focus on safe spaces. And you know what? If that's your thing, great.
Yeah,
go for it.
Do your thing. You're not really going to grow, but I mean, maybe, whatever.
That is not an expectation that should be placed
and that's just life.
On every single streamer. There's been a lot of pushback against this. We've seen big VTubers like Silvervale and Vebe and people like that really question this whole idea of safe spaces. They are not safe spaces. They are there to entertain, just like the vast majority of viewers want. They want to be entertained. They don't want a virtual hug box that's not going to upset them over tiny issues. Nobody wants to walk on eggshells while they're streaming and worrying about every little trigger that might upset an individual person in their stream. I'm not a person who wants to support a safe space in my community. I think I just lead by example, and that's the big thing here.
Yeah.
If you want to have certain values like being inclusive in your content, lead through your content and your own community in moderation.
Yeah,
these are all things you have control over, and it doesn't matter what platform that's taking place on. True. You control those things, and whether or not you're going to be an inclusive stream or whatever sort of a message or environment you're trying to create. Now, there's this part here saying that it's actively hostile to diverse creators.
And that's weird.
I don't see
I need
any
to see
proof
some
of
facts.
That. There is a major difference between individual creators being hostile towards a certain group of people versus an entire platform
going after
being
people
systematically
for being whatever.
Hostile towards a group of people. Is Kick actively posting things that is discouraging?
No. The only thing they're actively trying to do is get you to spend money on those damn slot machines and casinos.
Diverse creators from going there, or minorities, or whatever you want to call
That's what they're doing.
These groups of people. Do they have policies in place to discourage them? Are they decompressing or deboosting their posts to hide them from exposure? I don't see any proof of that. And here's the thing: if you don't like some of the hateful people and you don't like what they're posting,
don't mess with them.
Simply don't watch them. You are not going to be forced to watch a hateful person stream on Kick. There's nothing unique about Kick in that regard. That's the same principle that applies to places like Twitch. If you don't like certain creators, you can very easily avoid them. But a lot of people in the replies brought up that this thread is not judging anyone, not being judged by this thread. Well, you absolutely are being judged. First of all, it's implying that if you support inclusivity, you cannot stream on Kick or Rumble. That's judgment to me. And this line here about soul selling, they're literally saying that you're selling your soul to go onto places like Kick and Rumble.
Yeah, I think that's where he fucked up. He was actively trying to say, "Hey, don't go to Kick because this, and this." Sure, the justification is fine, but as soon as you start adding little bitty insults and jabs here and there to try and belittle people that choose to go there, you pretty much start throwing your argument out the window because it's going to be seen from people like Rev that you're just a fucking hater. This person doesn't want me to go to Kick because they don't want me to get the bag. They think I'm soulless if I go get my money. So who cares what Ducky has to say? That's why you just try and keep it neutral. Hey, I think this. Here's the evidence. I mean, I don't know how you're going to have evidence of Kick actively having people go after you for being like a VTuber, but yeah, good luck, buddy.
That's judging someone. And this whole concept of chasing the bag. Well, you know what? Chasing the bag is very important. And it's one of the main reasons Twitch receives so much disdain from its creators.
Because they're taking the money away.
Right now came out and said everyone gets a 70-30 split on ad revenue sharing.
Shit, that's fine with me.
People
70-30
would
is pretty
hail
good.
Twitch as a hero. They would forget everything else Twitch has done.
That's
they
fine with
would
me.
think Twitch is doing everything perfect, and they would forget all of the mistakes they've made over the past couple of weeks and months. It is very important. A lot of people are doing this for a living, or even a monetized hobby.
Or they want to do it for a living.
It is important to focus on chasing the bag, if you want to call it that. And this just goes into revenue in general. That 95-5 split is a huge deal. It is a very big deal.
That shit is huge,
Creators
bro.
should be properly compensated. Twitch should be put on blast for their continued greed and inability to fix their supposed infrastructure issues that forces their little small indie company to remain on that 50-50 split.
I love that. And above the head, twitch.tv, by the way, if you want to come support me on that shitty platform, because there's no other platform that I use.
Kick has been strongly hinting at something that's also very important.
It's borderline hypocrisy, but
is a wage of $16 per hour for its streamers. This is something that they're hinting at.
$16 an hour just to stream on it with no motherfucker. Like, say if I stream on there and I ain't getting no viewers, I'm getting $16 an hour, bro. That's a whole job.
Not in motion yet,
bro. But that's a whole job, bro. $16 an hour, and it's me and Twinkle Toes when we playing Call of Duty. I'm getting 16 regardless. Bro, I signed the fuck up.
I mention this because
I will sign
number
up.
one, it's a very impressive
That's
rate.
a whole job.
More than virtually every minimum wage in the United States.
On top of that.
But also, it is a great litmus test that'll be coming forward if it comes into motion. Because
if that happens,
let's see
I don't care.
how many of these VTubers currently condemning Kick will change up their entire stance on that platform.
Shit, I would.
If that's $16 an hour.
If I was Ducky right now and then they Kick said, hey, $16 an hour, don't matter how many viewers you got. hey.
Where rate becomes a reality.
Hey, fuck what
and
I'm
this whole
saying.
thing just has to go with
Let's
honesty,
get the
right?
money.
That is a main theme here. And, you know, in that spirit of honesty, I'll be honest with you guys. I will say something that most people won't admit, but most people probably agree in private. As a content creator, I don't really care much about the source of what funds my platform. Everyone's worrying about these things down here, the crypto backing and things like that.
Oh, well, I don't have an issue with the crypto. I have an issue knowing that crypto might fail and then the platform fucking falls off the cliff. Like maybe they have some other type of support structure like investors and stuff like that. But if it's literally only backed by crypto, that does make me nervous a little bit, because at the same time, even if Kick fell off, as long as I was like, hey, I got a Twitter, this and that, and people start following me on Twitter. Also, shout out to you guys that's been following me on Twitter. I appreciate it. I'll just say, hey, all right, we're going to go to YouTube, or we're going to go back to Twitch. So it doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day.
And they're shady at best financially. But you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of people are like me. If the funding is there, that's great. People don't care as long as it's not like taking blood diamonds from child slaves in Africa or something. People are going to be okay with what's going on and what's funding them, okay? As long as it's...
I don't know, man. People still get that shell gas. I'm just
halfway
saying.
Ethical, right?
I'm just saying.
And I think that's just my honest opinion that reflects a lot of other people. I mean, just look at the flip side. Is Twitch and their financial backing some more legitimized? They're backed by Amazon.
Investors?
Are you trying to shill for Amazon? I mean, you have people in their factories, in their assembly lines, pissing their pants because they're afraid the AI tracking their physical movements might ding them for an extra bathroom break, and then they'll get instantly fired by a bot program. Okay, they're not the greatest company, okay? They have a lot of demons themselves. So I don't understand why Twitch is so clean and ethical for everyone else. And, speaking of, you're on Twitter, for example, that supports Elon Musk, who actually has used child labor to build his brand over at Tesla to build their cars. I mean, it's all just a bunch of hypocrisy. And ultimately, the next theme of this, virtue signaling. This whole thing is just backed by virtue signaling. Most of the contempt for Kick is just that, virtue signaling. Most of it comes from three sources, right? Vtweeters, pre-debut VTubers, and VTubers with small audiences. All of which lack the motivation or the capability to relocate to a new platform. It is very easy to sit here and say, Kick bad, nobody go there, you're a bad person if you go there, when you either don't stream at all because you're a pre-debut or a VTweeter, or you're a small VTuber who just really doesn't have the ability to completely rebrand onto a new platform. And that's why it's easy to see, and it's easy clout right now, and that's just being honest. And in terms of moderation, the moderation down here being pointed out, moderation has always been up to the individual streamer and who they include in their streams. I don't think it's fair that on Twitch, you are responsible for finding your own mods and moderating your own chat and community. I think they should provide people to do that for you.
What?
But that's the standard. And that's the same.
Rev thinks that Twitch should supply every freaking streamer with a moderator that's a human? Or he's talking about like a bot moderator automatically? I think that's an interesting conversation. I don't think I'd want that, because how do you this person that just works at Twitch and they're like, all right, I'm going to be a moderator for these 30 streamers. And some of these guys have schedules and some of these guys don't have schedules, and I have to be there. And like, they don't know if like the streamer is joking. Like, say the streamer says a joke that we all know will be dark, right? It's a dark joke, but in the community, it's all good. But as soon as that outside moderator heard that shit and he blacklists the channel, now fuck that.
In case on YouTube, for example. And again, fair or unfair, there's nothing unique about Kick in that sense. If you have good mods, you're going to be well moderated on Kick.
True.
Okay, that's just the way it is. It is a carbon copy of Twitch. It is Twitch with a green set of paint on it. There's nothing really unique. If you have mods, you know what they're doing, they will function the exact same on Kick. Now, in terms of moderation, I saw this yesterday. I think this was a great move. So Kick announced that they banned one of their streamers for soliciting photos from a minor. Now that seems obvious, right?
Yeah, no shit.
Duh, of course you're going to do that. Well, that's not so obvious. On places like YouTube and Twitch, there's people being outed as groomers and abusing children, and they either are completely untouched by those platforms, other than social consequences,
or they
keep their contracts with those places, and maybe like a year or months down the road, they get banned. It's not as simple as it seems. This is a no-brainer, and I'm glad that Kick is taking fast action with stuff like that. That is a moderation thing, and it's good to see them on top of stuff like this. And I can't, go without mentioning Rumble in this video. I think, like I said, a lot of the focus has been on Kick as the main alternative to Twitch, but Rumble is another option. And like him or not, Andrew Tate yesterday had a stream on Rumble that had over 400,000 concurrent viewers at one point. That is a massive number. So for a lot of people saying it's completely garbage and not a single person cares about Rumble, well you're wrong. And whether
they care about Rumble when Andrew Tate is streaming, do they care about Rumble when he's not streaming?
It has staying power. Well, that's something to be seen, but they can pull impressive numbers on Rumble, and it is an option for people.
Options are options.
Here's another thing I really wanted to mention. So literally right as I was getting ready to record this video, Twitch made this announcement, and it is very misleading. So when I first saw this, I got pretty excited. So we're seeing them say we want to help streamers keep doing what they love so we can keep all loving what they do, including the Partner Plus program.
What is Partner Plus?
Check out the blog for more info.
Do I gotta be Pokemon times
this is crazy. And I saw initial reaction, like the first initial wave of reaction to this was like, oh my god, they're giving 70-30 splits. They're upping from 50-50 to 70-30. That's amazing. Well, you got to read the fine details, because unfortunately, that is not what they're doing. So if you read through the stipulations here, basically in a nutshell, in order to be even eligible for this, you
so
have
you
to be
get it.
a Twitch partner, which is very difficult to do. The standard for that is
high.
75 concurrent viewers
and
some other watch time requirements. And on top of that, they always have the caveat of it's up to their discretion whether they're going to give it to you or not.
And you're going to lock yourself into a contract becoming a partner
on Twitch despite meeting all those qualifications. I got rejected when I tried, and that's a very similar story for a lot of people. So that already knocks off a great deal of content creators because the majority are just simply affiliates and not partners.
Bro.
But going beyond that,
that's me.
So now you're a partner, and you have to have at least 350 reoccurring paid subscriptions for 3 consecutive months to be eligible for this new 70-30 split. Which, at first glance, sounds pretty reasonable. I think 350 is a reasonable number for someone who's a partner, right? To get 350 subs per month for 3 months in a row. But here's the thing.
Bro, you gotta
read it carefully.
Crazy.
It says reoccurring payments. So that excludes gifted subs and Amazon Prime subs.
Yep, and people that sub this month don't sub next month, but sub the month after that. It don't count those people either.
Which for most people, that is the majority of the subs they receive.
Facts.
So 350 paid reoccurring subscriptions per month is a very high number. That is a very high number and difficult.
Crazy,
and I would guess somewhere in the range of less than 1% of active streamers on Twitch will even have a shot at getting the 70-30 split.
Asmongold,
terrible look, and people are starting to realize this now and are really angry about this because they could have ended all of the criticism they're receiving by simply giving everyone, all streamers, a 70-30 split, making them competitive with YouTube on the same level of revenue sharing and making them a lot closer to that 95-5 split that Kick has. That's going to do it for this video. This has been, I know, a lot about these streaming platforms. And in terms of Kick,
video, bro.
I think it is a very interesting concept and where it's going to go. I'm not sure. Will it last for the long haul?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be probably a very difficult road for them. But in terms of chasing the bag, I encourage people to go and do that. If you even get 6 good months out of Kick,
that's better than fucking 6 months on Twitch, bro.
How many times in life would you turn down an opportunity to make an increased pay for even 6 months at a temporary job where you can just return right back to Twitch or your old job and continue where you left off?
That's what I said.
think it's a good experiment, something good for people to try if they're so inclined. And you shouldn't write it off just because of virtue signaling and people on Twitter telling you no without giving you an actual, real reason why Kick is so much worse than these other platforms.
I agree.
But that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys listening to my thoughts. Please share all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yeah, man, it's a great video. I think Kick, honestly, I personally would move to Kick, but on Twitch, I actually have some people that are subbed, so I feel bad if I'm like, all right, guys, let's move to Kick, and it's like they already spent, what, like $5 or something like that to be a sub. So I want to wait for their sub to run out, but maybe somebody will sub by the time that other person's subs run out, and it's like, well, I'm probably not going to go to Kick. But I do want to go back to streaming on YouTube because I do miss streaming on YouTube, but I got a copyright community guideline strike, so I'm gonna wait till that strike runs away, and then we're gonna go stream on YouTube a couple times and see how that goes. But yeah, man, this was a great video, Rev. Very interesting. Like you said earlier, people on Twitter talking about you shouldn't go because people are gonna attack you. People are gonna attack you no matter what, bro. Literally, you could be chilling, have a nice little knitting stream on freaking Twitch. Just have a knitting stream, have cute music, and some guy will come in here and say, hey, your knitting's ass. So what do? You ban him or tell him get out. Like, it's going to happen, bro. It is what it is. Anyway, see you guys on the next video. Shout out Rev. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.